Hey Marie, it's Michael Harvey. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown here on what exactly I'm talking about when I refer to backlinks, because I'm probably going to be talking about it a lot over the next 6 weeks or so. So I just wanted to see if maybe this would help clear things up a little bit. So again, what I do most specifically for you is help your website rank, and we want to get you to, in the short term, we want to get you onto the first page of Google. All right, anywhere on that first page. Long term, we want to get you into that top 3, and the goal is obviously to get you to number 1 in the organic search rankings. Up here you see I call it the map pack. It's a 3-pack of listings that you see when you type in anything into Google there. To get you into that map pack, I have to register you with a service called Google My Business, and that was one reason why I needed an updated NAP, the name, address, phone number, because I need that to be accurate. So that's going to be something that's going to be published on the internet. You're going to get a postcard in the mail from Google in a couple of weeks with a confirmation number on it, and once you get the confirmation number, we will enter that in, and then you will become verified business with Google, and that's how you're going to start showing up in this map pack. So Google doesn't just pull these from organic listings. You actually have to register for this service. To get into the top 3 can be a little bit more tricky, because usually you'll see a lot more companies. That's just based on Mobile Spa Calgary. Okay, but we want to get you to at least in the top 3, and hopefully to number 1 in this map pack. And how do we do that? There are 2 major things that Google looks at when deciding who to put in this pack. They do look at longevity of businesses that have been around. So I should retract what I said before. There are instances when businesses do show up in here that have not registered for the service, but those are businesses that Google know exists, and Google knows them to be true businesses. So a business owner would see them, and they could register to claim their listing in here. But for the most part, new businesses have to go through the process of registering. They're not just going to pick you up take you probably a few years to get picked up automatically in there. So businesses that show up in here, they've got something that we don't have yet, which is they've been around for a long time. So Google gives them a little bit of credit for that, and that pushes them a little bit higher in the rankings. But there are things we can do in the short term to get you into this list and to boost you up as much as we can. The first one is citations. Those are the business directory listings that I talked about, your 411.ca, the Yellow Pages, Yelp, things like that. Anywhere on the internet that we can list your business for a business listing in a directory. As many of those, there's about 350 in Canada that I will go through the steps of registering one by one to register your business. That's why it's so important that we have the right name, address, phone number, because I'm doing it 350 times, and I hate to have to go back and do it again when somebody wants to change something. So the more consistent that information is around the internet, the more Google gives you authority. So that's why it's so important. We don't want to have inconsistent information. So and I've explained this to you already, but just to cover it again, I will have to go and look at all the existing NAP information that you have around the internet and make sure that it's proper and coordinated. So I may need your help in some of that. If there's accounts that have been created, or if I can't access the information on my own, I may need your help to help me get in there to make sure that all the information is correct. So citations is the first thing. Another one is reviews. Reviews are very important. There is a section for reviews in Google. Also, reviews from around the internet, primarily the bigger ones like Yelp and Facebook reviews. Google looks at those also. So the more positive reviews you have, the more that helps you out in here. Also, a big draw for ranking in the map pack is your organic search ranking. So the higher that you're ranking in the organic rankings, of course, the more juice that you get up here. So that's another important part of it. So how do we get more organic rankings? Well, right now, you're not showing up for your keyword, or at least one of your main keywords, which is Mobile Spa Calgary or Calgary Mobile Spa. Your website's not showing up. I went about 6 pages deep, and it's not showing up, and I know exactly what the reason for that is. The first is, well, your website wasn't launched until just a couple of days ago. The second reason is your website really does not contain the word mobile as much as it should. I don't believe it appears on your homepage. If it does, I'll have to go back and look again. But there are a little bit of keyword reorganization techniques that I would like to do for your website. It's not number 1 on the priority list at the moment, but it is something that we need to get into soon, because if you want to rank for the big keywords, you've got to have them on your homepage, and they've got to be emphasized. They've got to be bigger than the rest of your text. Google looks at that. Google senses context. They can be darker if your fonts are not all black. The darker the font, the more it stands out. Google sees all these little things. There's about 200 different factors that Google takes into account when we're to rank a site. So there's all these little tips and tricks that we're going to do over the next little while to make sure that you're ranking. But you're not ranking right now, and I'll give you another good reason for that. I've typed in your actual company name here, and I did find you right on page 2. So look at that, you're already almost at the top of page 2, which I have to say is pretty good for being a brand new website. I've done a lot of companies, and usually I'm starting around page 5 or 6. So the fact that you're ranking on the second page for your company name is a pretty good sign. Now here's why you're not ranking for those other keywords. Because if you look at the description here, it says new website coming soon. In the meantime, contact below to book an appointment. So Google has not re-indexed your site since you've launched it. They saw your landing page a while ago, and so this is from the last. This is called a cached search. It's just, see there. This is Google indexed it once in a while. Google has to crawl the trillions of websites that are around the world all the time to see what updates have been provided. And obviously, you've had a huge update since you've launched your full website. So Google has not indexed it yet. Once Google indexes it, you probably will have a jump in your rankings because Google will realize that it's not just a landing page anymore, it's actually now a real website. So that will help us out a little bit once Google re-indexes that. There are ways we can go into Google Analytics and ask Google to re-index it, but I don't want to do that yet just because there are some other changes that I still want to make to your website in the meantime, and it's just not worth the effort of having Google index it right now. I did mention this site, Majestic. Now this is how we can see in terms of, if you really like metrics and you want to see, what I'm doing and if it's been effective, this is one way to do it. You can go to this site, majestic.com. You can get some searches for free, but they cut you off if you do too many. I do pay for this service, so I have a little bit more access to it. But you can see with your website name here, you've got two main factors here, trust flow and citation flow. Citation flow is the one thing I mentioned. Those are all the online directories, the 350 websites around the country that I'm going to list you with. That number will increase as we index more citations around the internet. And trust flow is basically a score that is measured off of the backlinks that you have, all the websites that are linking to you, and the power that those websites have. Like, for example, a website like Huffington Post or CNN.com has a lot more trust than a website of some blogger down the street that has no viewers. That site does not have a lot of trust, not a lot of traffic. Okay, so trust is equal to traffic and the power of the site. And the more power a site has, the more ranking juice that gives you when they link to you. Okay, so we can see that. I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about, something a little more specific. So when a website links to you, like what I mentioned, when a blogger out there has written about your website and they have a link to you, sometimes they can just write the naked anchor text, which is coastalblissdayspa.com. That's naked anchor text. Sometimes you see links like, check my website out here, and the word here is underlined. So the word here in that case would be the anchor text. So I've already gone to the work of the backlinks that I have put around the internet so far. I've altered your anchor text a little bit, and Google likes to see a good cross-section of different anchor text, and this is going to help you for all the keywords that we want to rank for. Okay, so this link that I put out there on the internet will link to your website by clicking the words Calgary Mobile Spa Calgary, and you can see that there's a different variety of things. They've even put in some of your competitors' names, so that when people are looking for your competitors, that you should still show up somewhere in the search rankings. Okay, so that's another little bit of a technique, but let's look at the actual backlinks that I've gotten to that have been indexed so far. Again, this is something that you'll see. The results here will show up when Google indexes those websites to see those changes. Okay, so these are two websites that I found good backlinks on, and these are called follow links, and that means that they're giving you the handshake. They're giving you the trust flow and the citation flow of their website. They're giving you that link power to your website, okay? And if it was a no-follow link, you would see that right in here. So any link that shows up on Facebook or Instagram or social media sites, most sites that spammers would love to go to try to, increase search rankings, they're called no-follow links. And they don't, even though it's a technical link from their page to your page, you don't get any ranking power. You don't get that handshake that you need. Okay, it's called a no-follow link. Like, for example, I've got this tool on my computer that shows me what are follow links and what are not follow links. This right here is a no-follow link. Okay, so this website here, Professional on the Web, even though there's a link on Majestic's website, okay, Majestic is not sharing their citation flow and their trust flow with professionalontheweb.com, okay, because otherwise people would just fill up Majestic's websites with spammy links. Okay, so that means it's a no-follow link, and so I would know that making a post on majestic.com with your website on it would mean nothing. Okay, so the only kind of links that we want are called follow links. And if you do want to learn more about that, you can Google follow links, no follow links, and you'll find all kinds of information if my explanation wasn't good enough, but I hope it was. So these are 2 backlinks. Actually, I got you 6 on this one page, okay, and a single one here. And you can see the citation flow and the trust flow of these pages that they're spreading to your website. Okay, so the higher these numbers are, the more power that your website is getting from them in terms of ranking. So your most powerful links will always be the highest on this list. So that's obviously your most powerful one. So there's 2 right now. You're going to see this list fill up slowly over time. Some, as we've seen here, can index in just a day or 2. Some can take 5 or 6 weeks to index. I've seen it take a long time. It just depends on when Google gets around to crawling that website and its list of 3 trillion websites that it has to crawl on a continuing basis. So those are backlinks, all right? So the more websites I get your link out there on, the more backlinks you're going to get, the more trust flow, citation flow that you get, and it increases your own score. And Google takes a good look at this when deciding how much authority your website has and deciding where to put it in the search rankings. Okay, so as these numbers go up, then ultimately your search rankings will go up. So that's one way that we're going to measure it, in addition to other things. So there's actually some really cool tricks. If you're wondering how do I get all these backlinks, there's a number of strategies, but one of them that I found works really well is called a copycat strategy. So if we find one of your competitors here, so the first website here, spaparty.ca, okay, obviously they're doing something right because they're number 1 in the search rankings. So we're going to copy their website, we're going to go over to Majestic, and we're going to find out what they're doing to get in the number 1 spot. Now you see here their score and their backlinks is really not much higher than yours. They've probably been around for a while, and Google knows that they're an established business, and there's, again, 200 ranking factors that Google looks at, so it's not the only fish that we have to fry. Okay, but we can look at these backlinks and say, wow, that one's got some pretty good power, and if this spot was able to do it, well, maybe we can do it too. Okay, so I'm going to actually go to that website, and I'm going to find out what it is. If it's a blog, maybe I can contact the webmaster and get them to do a guest post about your website. Sometimes $10 or $15 is all it takes, or you just promise to put a news story, you do a reciprocal link trade. So you're going to do a story about this blog on your website, a nice mention, it'll give you, they want a backlink from you just as much as I want a backlink from them. So sometimes that's all it takes. You just have to usually send an email and say, let's exchange blog posts, and you're going to get a backlink from this website. So using this sort of copycat method, I can go through and I can look at all the different backlinks that your competitors have. Go through the websites one at a time, look at all their backlinks, figure out what sites they're linking to, and see if I can go and piggyback and get some of those links on my own. It does a great job. That site's at number 1. I just have to do what they're doing, and I'm going to get pretty close in the meantime. So that's another sort of trick up my sleeve as well. This is another website I've already gotten you a number of great anchor text links on. It's not that anybody really goes to this website. It's just that this website has some really high power to it, and it lets you create your own links on it. All right, and I can tell that the website does have some pretty good power because when we looked at your list of backlinks, it shows pretty high. Anything in the double digits is great. You're going to find most of the backlinks are going to be less than double digits, but even here in the 40s at a 20 here, this is a solid backlink. So this is a website that I don't tell a whole lot of people about. My competitors would love to know where it is, but it works out really well. Looks like that's just other stuff here. So that's basically right now. I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. I'll let you get back to work. If you have any more questions about backlinks, let me know, or anything else you want to know. I'm happy to share more of my really uninteresting and boring knowledge with you about how we're going to do it, but I'm going to get back to work. See you later.